channel from lovely New Zealand. It's summertime here and we've got native tuis with little white tufts. They look like waiters flying around, and wood pigeons, big fat birds with a glistening green cloak around here and a white underbelly. We've got lots of different types of bird life in New Zealand. It's a wonderful spot and it's nice and warm, so I'm happy to be here. Now the main thing what I'm wanting to say today is it's just about the quantum field, which science has now proven that it exists, and yogis and mystics talked about thousands and thousands of years ago. So that's what basically yoga is now showing up to be in the quantum realm. So we're constantly in the quantum field, and also whatever the observer and the particle and wave are basically all one. They all have interconnect and all affect each other. So we as the observer have an effect on the future and the present moment. So by doing yoga, you're opening yourself up and tuning in to higher frequencies, and you're letting go of your ego, attachment, and all the things that are lower vibrations. Now at the moment on the karmatic wheel, we're in the upswing, in the confluence age. That's why people are getting more into eating good, looking after nature, and also the quantum fields come into existence. It's been around for a long time, but it's now more and more scientists are doing studies on mind and how it connects to the quantum field and how it interrelates to the quantum field. So what we're going to do today is, firstly, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Ujjayi breath, which we use with all our asanas when we're doing poses, and that actually helps us increase the amount of energy, because we've got receptors in our skull that take in prana, and by doing the asanas, using the breath to go through all the asanas, basically increases your practice. So we're going to do Ujjayi breath, and then we're going to go through some vibrational increasing asanas. We're going to actually do a headstand. Now for anybody that can't do a freestanding headstand, just do it against the wall and have fun with it. It doesn't matter how many times you fail at doing it or whatever, and it's like anything in life, you just keep going till you get it right, and you can do, and that's just the way things are. So firstly, we're just going to go through Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath is breathing through the nose and using the whole lung. So you're breathing through the lower part of your lung right up, and then you're breathing out the mouth. The out breath is the healing breath. The in breath is taking in the prana, oxygenating your body and your brain, all your cells, and that prana is vital for life. So how you do Ujjayi breath is breathe in through your nose, curl your tongue up into the top of your mouth, and then breathe in through the lung, in through the nose, fill your whole lung up, and then just let it out through the mouth. So here we go. Okay, so the first pose we're going to do is just Baddha Konasana, and just don't grab your toes or your big toe, because there's little bones in there. You just want to grab your ankles and use the out breath when you're doing the pose. So and slow the breath down. Just counting away. Good. For light heart, practice yoga. Focus on the breath. Filling your whole lung up. And then just grab your feet and just gently opening them out like this. There you go. Keep breathing out. Slow, deep breaths. And then just gently come down, just as far as you can. Keep breathing. And then just gently come up. Cool. Okay, so we're going to do a spinal twist. Spinal twists are really good for releasing enzymes and lubricating the whole spinal system. Also good for your spinal hips around there, that region as well. And it's a central thing. We're only as old as our spine, so if we keep a supple spine in yoga, that's really important. So just putting your knee up, putting your hand placed back, reaching up, putting that hand over, hand straight up, and then opening out. Focus on opening out. Rotate the spine, open the shoulder, keep nice and high in the pose. Keep breathing. Don't forget to breathe, it helps. Good. So just go the other side now. Opening out, twisting your spinal cord, keeping your height in your pose, and then take the pose around. Cool. So yeah, that was the just to get kind of a warm up. Now we're also going to do a headstand, as I said. Now preparing for the headstand, you need a good base and to lock your fingers, and then you just basically like the triangle, your two shoulders and your head. So I'm going to demonstrate it now. Obviously this is for beginners upwards, mainly. So that's where we're at with that. I mean, obviously there's all different types of levels of yoga, and that's the beautiful thing about yoga. There's a huge difference between beginners to really advanced beings that practice yoga on the planet. So we'll have a go at the headstand. So here we go, have a go at it. I'm going to come down, interlock my fingers, place them on the mat, put my head down, and then I'm just going to gently go up into headstand. You can point your toes like that, or you can dorsiflex your toes, whatever you feel comfortable with. But at the moment I prefer just to do that. Focus on your breath. Just try and relax in the pose. Get your central balance. This is really good for your brain. You got 4 ventrals in the brain, and when you do an inversion like this, it engorges it with cerebral spinal fluid, which oxygenates your brain, and it's also good for the crown chakra. And then just gently coming down. Awesome. So that was basically a good headstand, great for the brain, great to oxygenate the brain, get the cerebral spinal fluid cleansing. And there's an old yogic story that goes, if a person does a headstand for 1 hour a day, they don't age. So there's lots of stories attached to yoga, because it's obviously thousands and thousands of years old. So that was the headstand. And mainly in a headstand, what we do is we do a counter pose too. So I'll do a shoulder stand and then halasana, the feet go over. But at the moment, we won't do that today, because I'm just trying to keep it really basic, the whole thing, and also reasonably short. So just remember, with yoga, it's about tuning into the quantum field. It's about using the breath, Ujjayi breath, and it's about purifying your body. What's really good about yoga is it's a practical way of connecting to Source, the Creator, or the quantum field, whatever you want to call it. It's all the same stuff. To me, it makes no difference. So I just salute all different paths, because all paths to me are one. Now, just a little bit with the quantum field is that it's now part of us, and we can actually connect to that. But to connect to the quantum field, you actually need to get out of the ego and attachment, which dwell in your intellect and an energy sheath in your mind. There's different energy sheaths in the body. You've got your physical body vibrating here, you've got your mind vibrating higher than your physical body, and then you've got all the processes of the mind produce your intellect, and in your intellect you've got your ego and attachment, and then even still infinitely higher is your bindu, your speck of white light in your crown chakra. Okay, so what we're doing with yoga is using the breath by eating good, purified food, high vibrational food. We're increasing our vibration, and then what we're also doing is we're using the asanas to purify your body. You've got energy centers in your body called chakras, okay, and each one is like a vortex, and there's also nadis. This is quite full on, but this is all the depth behind yoga. You got 72,000 nadis, which are tubes that take in prana, and where the nadis intersect, the 72,000, each one goes through a particular chakra. Okay, so what we're doing by doing asanas and eating well, we're purifying the mind by eating well, we're purifying the body, and we're allowing more prana, more quantum energy into our body, and our mind state becomes sattvic, very still. So then we can actually start being the master of our ship and sailing through life how we want to be, instead of having no rudder or taking on water or ego and attachment. All these things are manifesting, which are actual illusions to try and control us. It's a really interesting subject. It's fascinating. So that's one of the reasons why Green Living Channel I've started, is just to try and help people raise their consciousness through eating, through asanas, and through obviously a bit of philosophy and stuff like that. And that's the main purpose of the whole thing. And also just practicing lightheartedly and walking through life too lightheartedly is really important. And also having a laugh sometimes at yourself if you do something silly is good. not taking yourself too seriously, but also in the mornings and in the evenings are really important parts of the day. Just giving thanks, taking nice deep breaths in the morning, Ujjayi breath through the nose, out the mouth, and just thanking Quantum or the Creator for your blessings in the morning, and picturing a wonderful life, being grateful, and that raises your vibration. And then in the evening, what you're doing is the same thing. You're breathing in through your nose, out through your mouth. Say 16 breaths, nice deep breaths, and just every breath you're thanking the Creator. Thank you for my blessings, thank you for my wonderful life. And then that increases your vibration, and you're no longer pulled into the ego and attachment. So every time the ego and attachment come in, basically use Ujjayi breath and say a positive affirmation like, thank you for this beautiful day, thank you for my beautiful body, thank you for my life. So by doing that, you're constantly climbing on up. So it's a beautiful thing. But thanks again for joining Green Living channel. If you want to subscribe, just tap the button. It'd be lovely to have you on board, because what we're trying to do is get everybody to live green, live in harmony with all beings. That's the aim, okay? And it's like a revolution. We're wanting people to form a wave or energy, and it's constantly moving on up, like in the karmatic wheel, and that's where we're at. So definitely get behind it, get on board living in harmony and eating healthy. It's lovely to have you guys here, and it's a beautiful day.